And here are your hosts, Sean Jones and Jonathan Bird.
This is assuming where we can safely do those things, is going to be a squat. Now, what that squat looks like, it could be a goblet, it could be a front, it could be a back squat, but I'm always going to try to make sure every client can squat.
Yeah, I mean, a squat's an essential movement. You know, no matter how you do it, your body's going to squat one way or the other.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you know, and my point being is every athlete needs to be able to have a strong posterior chain, and I don't care how old you are, you're still going to have to get off the couch, you're still going to have to get off the toilet. So yeah. It's a valuable tool.
Well, and you know, talking about the couch and the toilet, it's also important to be able to slow down enough to sit there controlled.
Yeah, so you're not free falling into the toilet.
Yeah, that's a mess.
That's how I am after squatting, so I guess that's probably.
Yeah, well, we all know how that goes. You know, I drink a lot, so I'm kidding.
All right, so what's one for you?
So you went with the squat. That's a great multi-joint knee dominant movement. I'm going to go with a kettlebell swing, which is a great hip hinge movement.
Okay. What kind of variations do you do of it based off if it's a general client, if it's an athlete? What do you got?
So the way I work with a kettlebell swing is if somebody doesn't have great movement in the hips, then we'll work our way up with other movements. But once they're ready to swing, this might seem counterintuitive to some people, but it's always better to go heavier than too light.
Really?
Yep.
Expand a little bit.
So if you go too light on a kettlebell swing, then you can muscle it with your shoulders.
Okay.
If the kettlebell's heavy enough, you can't, and that additional force pushes your hips back more.
You got any coaching points on a couple things you would look at when somebody's doing a kettlebell swing?
Yeah. Biggest thing is, you know, with anything, I want you know to have the shoulders back and your neck in a good neutral position. But from the floor up, your heels have to be in contact with the floor the whole time. If you ever see somebody doing a kettlebell swing and they're falling forward, that means they're in the middle of their foot or on the ball of their foot, and that means that's quad dominant.
Okay.
And nice tight abs like you're holding a plank, and you just want to drive the ground away from you. And so I see too many people that bend their knees a lot.
Okay.
It's a hinge movement, so it's just enough knee bend to get your hips to go back.
And so you hit what I always talk about is the actual hip hinge. Mm-hmm. Hip hinge being a huge part of what we do as a human and being a great athlete. If you can't hip hinge well, you're probably not going to be very good at sports.
No, not one sport.
Yeah, and there's not a sport on earth played that being stronger doesn't help you at.
Right. And some people would even say that they would give the definition of athleticism as the ability to extend your hips.
Ooh, that sounds like a good topic at some point. What is an athlete?
Yeah, you can dig into that for sure.
We'll do that one day.
Yeah.
All right.